I'm Julie Mans. This is the Unfinished Business Report for Wednesday, October 26th. Today we had 5 we were looking at from the day or days before. 1 was gapped lower, so there was no possibility, and I'll show you that, way lower. 1 just didn't work out, but 3 were really good. So let's start with CCI. If you had watched the tweet or this video or Facebook for Trader Insight, you would have seen that I was looking at these on my list as shorts. Here was CCI. I saw that it had unfinished business, looked like it was making a reversal pattern, and today it went down. Here's the 5-minute chart over here. You can see there was opportunity to get in from this central pivot. Next up is UAL. I did tweet about this one today, so if you follow our tweets at Trader Insight, you would have gotten this opportunity to evaluate for yourself. It did pull up to form a resistance and then did exactly what I thought it would do, which would come down, and then pretty much trailed off for most of the day. You can see the story here on the daily chart. Last, we had Molina Healthcare. That was also something I was looking at from yesterday. It did much of what UAL did. It went up to a resistance level and then started plummeting down and then had a nice, good run of it later in the day. So those worked out really well. The 2 that didn't work out were SJM. That just went flat for the rest of the day, and you can see that story over here on the daily chart. And then the one that gapped was EAT, Brinker. It actually, you can see over here on the daily, they didn't just gap it, they really gapped it. Okay, what's on deck for tomorrow? Let's see. Suffice it to say, there are plenty of things from today that look like they're ready to go tomorrow. We did have a good run on several things today in our trading room, and it's always great to trade live with our guys in the room. That said, there were still a lot of opportunities left on the table, or further opportunities for stocks that did go as we expected. M is one of those. M was a short for today, and you can see on the daily it really did do that. It was really nice. Macy's. The reason I like it is it looks to me like we have room to go to the downside, like support and resistance is right in here. So it's one of those that if it starts to slide, it might slide fast, and especially if they gap it somewhere midway, it looks to me like there's room at least for a pullback down to these lows and the support. My other favorite one for tomorrow, COF has had 2 pretty high-flying days, and you can see that it really hasn't gotten the job done. If we stretch out this daily chart, let me see what we can do here. You can see that, let's see, back here in May, it hit some highs. It looks like it's trying to hit those highs again, but it's not having much success, so I'm going to look for a slide on that tomorrow. Other stocks that I think are possible, and I'll have on my list and flip through them. ACC is one of those. It did go higher today and reached highs from late in September, earlier October. So sometimes that reverses, especially if it's up at daily support and resistance, which is what's happening with ACC right now. CBS is another one. You can see it did break lower today, but it didn't quite go all the way down to the support and resistance level on a daily chart, and the action happened later in the day. So that might have some room to the downside tomorrow to complete that run. GPC looks to me in a similar way, didn't quite get down to the lows that it bounced from just a couple days ago. And it looks a little undecided. This one might actually take off to the upside since this is more of a doji formation, but if the day is down and the sector's down, we might see something also to the downside there. Molina Healthcare, MOH, can't seem to get the job done, and looks like there is plenty of room to retrace this giant bar from 2 days ago. DVA didn't put in a solid close. You can see here on the daily that it had a big down day on Monday. Today it didn't really recover from that, so sometimes that means there's follow through to the downside, and today is just a pause day. KMB looks dangerously low. However, if you stretch out this daily, you'll see that it has been lower, if not for a year. So it's not impossible to think that it would head lower. Yeah, I'll just keep that on my list. So I think that's enough for us to worry about with unfinished business. Adrian always has a slew of new trades for tomorrow. These are all trades that I like to look at. Since everybody who's setting up their own trading plan puts a lot of work into finding trades, it's always nice to be able to capitalize on those trades even if they don't hit that day. So that's what this report is all about. I hope you have a great trading day tomorrow, and see you at Trader Insight.